2 years in a row, I feel like we're talking about the Cleveland Browns as winners in free agency. Feels like, am I saying, are we in some bizarre world? Like COVID-19 is part of this like parallel universe that we're in, and the Cleveland Browns are really good in this parallel universe. Mm-hmm. I thought they destroyed this free agency. They had money to work with, and they spent that money so wisely. Let's talk about who they got. They got a very good safety in John Johnson. They got Takk McKinley, who knows what that's going to be. Rashard Higgins coming back was big. Malik Jackson signing. I still think Malik Jackson has something left. Malcolm Smith, I don't feel anything about that. And then Troy Hill, who I think is a pretty good nickel corner. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a pretty great keep for them, a pretty great acquisition for them. So I thought the Cleveland Browns just did a fantastic job this free agency. They have one need that I think they have to fill, and they can do it in the draft. Everything else is filled. Talk to me about the Cleveland Browns, Jason.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to win free agency by bringing people in. Sometimes it's about bringing people back and then putting yourself in a draft position where you can be incognito and do whatever you want and be completely flexible because you don't have those holes. Talking about those guys that you added, Josh Johnson, man, my goodness. And Greedy Williams is over there. Denzel Ward's over there still. And, say what you want about them. They're loaded over there. And Joe Woods knows how to take care of those cornerbacks. And they're going to be in great position. They're ready to go, man, honestly. And this isn't, they may have not made the big splashy, acquisition like they did like with Odell and things like that. But again, bringing guys back, bringing those guys in and keeping your core intact with a team that already made the playoffs and Kevin Stefanski was a coach of the year candidate. Yeah, the Browns are winners. Sometimes the best moves are the ones that just bringing your people back and nice. I like your dresser. It's the best move to bring all your people back, but then to add certain people, but you don't always have to bring flashy names in to be a winner in free agency. And I think Cleveland's fine, man. I really do.
Yeah. Blake, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So another crazy thing, like usually you don't see, maybe it's just been this offseason, but I feel like there's been more guys who've taken like pay cuts or lower deals to go to the team they want to. And John Johnson's one of those guys. He said he had more money from other places, but he said he wanted to go to Cleveland. Now, this could be part of your parallel universe that you mentioned, but when have we ever heard that? When have we ever heard that? Never. So I think that says a lot about the culture. And then to Troy Hill, that signing I liked a lot. So they have Greedy and then they have Ward. Both kind of have injury concerns, but having a nickel corner solid, like their secondary looks a lot better. And we saw them, they kind of got tormented against the Chiefs when Mahomes was in. So that's always nice. And then another guy you didn't mention or we haven't mentioned yet is Anthony Walker from the Colts. So he's kind of like one of those thumpers and really good against the run. So they signed him too because I think their two biggest needs are really like middle linebacker or just the linebacker position in general, and then another edge across from Garrett. But yeah, they signed a couple linebackers to help with that. So Simone Taki's not out there. They have a pick in the draft where they can go linebacker or D-end, and if they want to go, they can still hit like a cornerback too, just depending. But yeah, I like this a lot for them, and they didn't do what teams do. Usually teams, when you say winning the offseason, it's like they signed the highest name guy. They didn't do that. They signed people that are above average, but they didn't break the bank for them. And I think that's honestly big. And their roster is going to look a little better next year on top of already making the divisional round. So
right. Every single player they signed made sense. Right. It made sense in terms of money. It made sense in terms of positional need and made sense in terms of who they got. Right. John Johnson is a hell of a safety. He's a really good player. Getting him at $11 million, what is it?
Yeah.
It's about $10 million annually is fantastic. He's really good. And I thought their secondary wasn't as bad as people made it out to be last year. They got everybody got hurt in training camp. Mm-hmm. Denzel Ward got hurt. That they had to trade for Ronnie Harrison because Delpit got hurt. Now you have Delpit, Ronnie Harrison. I think Carl Joseph needs to go. Great tackler, hell of a hitter, horrible in coverage. Him leaving is great, and you have John Johnson. Denzel Ward, to me, is a really, really underrated corner. When we talk about William Jackson, to me, Denzel Ward is the same way in terms of his ability in man coverage. He's really, really good. You get Greedy back. On the others, you add Troy Hill to the slot, who can do it all. Great tackler, good ball skills, everything. They're going to be really good. I think Anthony Walker signing, like you said, is underrated. I think he's going to be a starter for them for sure, and he's going to be a solid starter for them. I still think they need one guy in that linebacking position, just that one freak athlete, like a Miles Jack type, a Deion Jones, that one guy that's just going to fly around. Right. Because the one guy that's just going to fly around just because they're missing. They play a Niners kind of similar style defense to the Niners with Joe Woods there. And they need that linebacker who's fast and is just going to rally everybody to the ball. That would be the only thing I think they actually need on their entire team. I think Rashard Higgins coming back was humongous. Him and Baker Mayfield have chemistry for days. So I think Cleveland just killed it.
Yeah. Hollywood Higgins, man, they're going to do, Stefanski, they're going to run the hell out of the ball. Baker Mayfield did play a lot better, maybe not number one pick overall worthy, but he definitely played well. And then you have to remember, Cleveland's dangerous. They haven't paid Baker. A team that has a quarterback still on a rookie contract that is this deep and is this talented, they're a team that you need to watch out for because they can allocate their money in different ways. That's why they're able to make these signings on the defensive side of the ball. That's why they're able to bring back Rashard Higgins because they haven't given Baker Mayfield the bag yet. So that's what makes them it makes you nervous about what they could do. Not nervous, but makes you excited about their potential because any team that has a guy on there that they're not paying a quarterback that is as solid as Baker Mayfield is, they're dangerous, especially when you consider that run game and that defense.
Absolutely. Blake, final thoughts on the Browns free agency?
Yeah, my only thing that I kind of think they still need is like another edge player opposite Garrett. Their D-line's basically you triple team or double team Garrett, and then the other guys go one-on-one. And if they had another guy on the outside, now that's, pass rusher is one of the most premier positions, obviously, so they don't just grow on trees. But if they either drafted a guy or were able to trade for one, I think that would be huge for them. Because instead of just, sending more people Garrett's way, whether that was interior, like maybe Malik Jackson does find some of his magic that he had on the Jags or Broncos, that would just be huge for them.